Nina, let's talk about the vertical orientation of Come Out and Play. It is
Yeah.
not your average picture book that's, in a landscape format. It's in portrait format. So it's so unusual,
Mm.
immediately eye-catching. People are going to see it and want to pull it off the shelf just for that alone. So I'd love to hear a little bit about how the vertical orientation developed. Did you always conceive the story as being best told in the vertical format, or did it involve some
Yeah.
conversations with your publisher?
Uh, mm, no, I think it was there from the beginning because actually I just wanted to emphasize the distance between the dogs on the ground and the squirrel on the top of the tree. And this is basically the idea of the whole book. So it was
Yes.
there. And I developed my stories with very tiny storyboards, and the proportion have been very similar like that. And but the challenge for me during the process was a bit to break this monotony because this is really very vertical and strict. And when the dynamic change between the animals, I play with the composition, and it starts to get more, you know, less vertical.
So it does, yeah.
And
You're right.
yeah,
In the first few pages, it is the trees make that straight line, and then it really delves into different shapes and angles and
yeah,
everything. Oh yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And about the publisher now, I think they felt the same way. It has to be like that because it stands out in a way. And I think they changed it for 5 millimeters or something. They just checked the stability, so it should stand well in a bookshop and in a bookshelf. So yeah,
Oh,
I'm
that's
happy.
interesting. So there was
Yeah.
like physics involved.
Yes, a little bit.
That is really
And,
cool.
and generally, I'm generally also interested in books that go a bit beyond the conventional formats. And if the shape of the book is really part of the storytelling. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in librarianship with early literacy, one of the concepts we try to introduce it throughout our story times is simply what is the concept of a book? Like what is it that,
Mm,
most books have a cover and they have pages that you turn,
mm,
and
mhm,
there may be words on the page, and there's always, the author's name and the illustrator, that sort of thing. So it's like
mm,
literally teaching someone theoretically who's never seen a book before,
mm,
um, what a book is. And so your idea of like transforming the physical object of a book, to support what's in the story, that is a really cool thing for a lot of librarians. I think are going to have fun turning
mm,
that into an element of story time, like talking about the physicality of that book before they
mm,
even get into the story. And then maybe afterwards asking the readers, okay, why do we think it was vertical like that? Like why did the author choose that? And so that's going
mm,
to open up some really cool conversations. The dogs and the squirrel in Come Out and Play are just absolutely hilarious. And at the end too, some humans show up, and it's sort of like a commentary on, what animals can tell us about ourselves. So I just wondered, what were those animals you've observed in your real life? Are you a pet owner? Tell us a little bit about the inspiration
mm.
there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it all comes from real life. This book was created in an artist residency in a wild forest near Berlin. I went there with my kids and with my family. And there were, of course, a lot of dogs and squirrels, and there was even a trampoline in the middle of a forest. Yeah, I wanted to work there, but my kids, unfortunately, yeah, they were a little bit stressed about this new environment. And they set the rhythm of our days, and I tried to process whatever was going on into picture stories. The squirrel is inspired by my daughter. She's very quick and clever, and she's always building little hiding places wherever she goes. And the three dogs were inspired by my son, who has an unusual combination of fear but also fascination. for these animals. And their playful, a bit over the top energy grew up from just watching him. Using animals just gave me the freedom, to push the story really to the limit. And I think I could go much further than I could do it with human characters in this case. And I also love just the visual contrast between this tiny animal, the squirrel, and the three dogs. It becomes clear that this story is not really about animals when the parents or dog owners arrive. It's just about us. It's about human beings and about the way we talk to each other. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah, I
it.
thought that was really cleverly done. The way the
Yeah.
humans show up and you see where the dogs got kind of their way of addressing the squirrels and or the squirrel and just so clever. I think it can be read at multiple levels. So, obviously the children are gonna just enjoy the hilarity of the dogs and the squirrels, and then the adult reader who's sharing the experience with them will be like, "Oh, this is commentary. This is great." So,
Mm.
and that's in the best of ways when we have children's literature that is not just for children. It can be enjoyed on multiple levels by all ages. And I think all of you here have accomplished that.